Back in 2023, I got into a really bad car accident.
Similar happened to me back in 2018. I don't know if I've talked about it on this account yet. I talked about it on my other account that's now a shop account. But back in 2018, I was in between jobs and I was door dashing. And I was driving home late one night. It was dark, and I don't like to drive in the dark. And I was on the highway. I had been taken too far from home for the door dashing. And I was on the highway, and the car in front of me suddenly slowed to a stop. And I just wanted to get home. I was tired, and that irritated me. I'm like, what are they doing? So I switched lanes. I moved to the left lane. And as I moved to the left lane, I suddenly saw why that car had stopped, because there was a deer in front of me at this point. The deer had been in front of that car and had walked into my lane and was in front of me. And I only saw the deer as I was about to hit it. And the deer stopped and looked at me. All I know is that I went into the deer. I went into the deer and I hit the deer, but I didn't feel an impact. The next thing I knew is I was driving down the highway. Everything was normal. I was driving down the highway as if nothing had happened. And I was like, what the heck? And I looked around. The car was fine. I was driving down the highway. The car that had stopped in front of me was still in front of me. I had not changed lanes. There were no deer. I had not hit any deer. Nobody had stopped on the highway. And I turned around and I looked quickly behind me to see were there, maybe I swerved and avoided it and there was a pile up. Nothing. All the cars were driving normally. Nothing had happened on that highway. So I really feel that, and I never knew what had happened. I had always thought about it. I came home, I told my spouse about it, and I never knew, like I could never put together what had happened. And then about a year ago, I started seeing things about quantum immortality and quantum jumps and everything else and timeline jumps. And I was like, oh my God, that's what happened to me. So I really think that I died that day on the highway. I think that I hit the deer and I freaking died. And I think I just went right into a different timeline back in 2018. Now, until then, I had been having some struggles, a lot of financial struggles, job struggles. I couldn't find a job that, was comfortable for me to get to, that was close to home, where I made enough money and all this stuff. And I was like at the end with all of that. And after that, everything turned around for me. And I got a job, and ever since then, my career has been fine, and I haven't had a lot of those struggles. That was 2018. And I really think at that time I died. And I jumped timelines. So just like this lady had a different experience because she felt the impact. And